Hi, Zach from Groovy Entertainment. Today we have no book to read for you. Today's book is The Berenstain Bears, Trouble with Pets from 1990. So let's get started. Goodbye, little bird, said Sister Bear. Fly away and be happy. On her finger was the sparrow that the bear family had taken in because it had an injured leg. Papa Bear had made a sprint for it out of a toothpick and strips of tapes. Brother and sister had named it Tweety and had taken care of it for about a week, but now it was time to remove the sprint and let the bird go back to nature, where it belonged. It hopped on a twig, then took wing. Before you could say Tweety, it was out of sight. I'm going to miss our little bird, said sister sadly. Tweety was such a nice little pet. Tweety wasn't a pet, dear, said Mama Bear. Not a real pet, anyway. It was an injured bird that we helped get well so it could go back to the forest. Why don't we get a real pet? Mama asked sister. Other cubs have pets, says brother. Why can't we? Cousin Freddie has a dog. Lizzie Brute has a cat. Two-Tone Grizzly has a snake. Well, said Mama, as they climbed the front steps of the treehouse, I suppose it's something to think about. Geez, Mama, said Brother, what there to think about? There's quite a lot to think about, she said. A pet is a big responsibility. A pet, a pet has to be fed, cared for, kept clean. What do you think, Papa? I think a dog would be a nice, said Papa. But a dog is a essentially big responsibility, protests Mama. A dog needs shots. It needs to be trained and walked, and there are dog laws. A big dog, said Papa, about so high that we can fetch and play frisbee. We can take care of it. Mama cried the cubs. We promise, we promise. Remember now, said Mama, as they powered into the car. We're going to the pet shop just to look. Choosing a pet, especially a dog, is a serious business. Speaking of dogs, said Papa, pointing to a sign they drove by. Farmer Ben plays puppies available. See Farmer Ben, said Brother, reading the sign out loud. How about the Ben dogs? Bets must have had puppies. May we look at them? Mama, cried sister. Oh, please, Mama, please. Before Mama could answer, Papa said, no harm in looking, and pulled into Farmer Ben's driveway. Ben Dog's Bess had indeed had puppies, 5 of the cutest roly-polies, little balls of fur you had ever seen. Farmer Ben picked one up and put it in Sister's arms. What beautiful brown eyes, she said. May we have this one, Mama? May we? May we, please? Most pups had brown eyes, said Ben, but I do think that one is the pick of the litter. It's yours if you like. A gift from Ben by Beth and me. Goodness, said Mama. That's very generous of you, Ben. I really don't know what to say. Yes, say yes, shouted the cub, jumping up and down. It certainly is a cute little thing, she said. All right then, yes. Brother and sister was overjoyed. Thank you, Farmer Ben. they shouted. Then after they had calmed down a bit, Brother said, our pup going to need a name. How about King or Prince? Or maybe Duke? Farmer Ben, who was an expert in such matter, took a quick look under the puppy tail and said, the only trouble with those names, Brother Bear, is that this pup is a girl. Of course, they couldn't take their new pet home with them if it needed its mother milk for it would need its mother milk for a couple more weeks. But there was plenty of puppy talk and they headed home. Talk about names, talk about where the puppy would sleep, and talk about who would take care of it. Remember now, said Mama, you promised to take care of your new pup, to feed and water it, and to clean up after it when it had accidents. What kind of accidents? Asked Sister. We discussed that later, Mama said. Brother and sister couldn't believe how lucky they'd been. A new puppy for their very own. That night before falling asleep, they thought about some of the wonderful things they would do with the new pup, or the new pet. Sister thought about dressing it in doll clothes, pushing it in her doll carriage, and thought about introducing it to her stuffed toys. Perhaps they could have a tea party. Brother thought was quite different. He thought about winning the blue ribbon at the Bear Country Dog Show. He thought how fine it would be to shout mush as the great dog pulled him through the deep snow. But of course, a puppy isn't a toy to be dressed in doll clothes. It's a living creature with mind and nature of its own. It would be a long time before a pup could complete for blue ribbon. It would be even longer time before it could pull anything through the snow. There was no question about it. Brother and sister had a lot to learn about puppies. So Mama and Papa decided that a trip to the library was in order. They took out a book called Puppy Care. When the big day came, the Bear family had a puppy care plan all worked out. First, they stopped off at the police station to get it registered. What's the little lady name? Asked officer. The pup would need a license with her name and address on it, in case she gets lost. But brother and sister still hadn't agreed on a name. What to do? It seemed to me that officer just named our puppy, said Mama. Little lady sounds like an excellent name to me. So the puppy left the police station with a name as well as the license. Next, a quick stop at the pet shop for a puppy harness and leash, then a very important stop at the vet for a checkup and shots. Little lady didn't like the shot one bit. Brother and sister knew just how she felt. They even sort of knew how parents must feel when their cubs have to get shots. Now it was time to introduce little lady to her new home. The bear had already gotten food for her and made a puppy box out of cardboard cartons in an old bucket. They had placed the box in the kitchen where it was nice and warm with the door closed. Of course, puppies tend to get into mischief, and that wasn't much harm she could do in the kitchen. Little lady sniffed all around the kitchen, then curled up in her box and went to sleep. At first, the cubs argued about whose turn was it to feed, water, and walk the puppy. It's my turn. No, it's my turn. But after a while, they began to argue about whose turn was it. It's your turn. I cleaned up after the last accident. No, it's your turn. I cleaned up after that last accident. Mama solved the problem by posting a puppy care schedule on the wall. Not that the puppy was all work, fun. Little lady was indeed a lot of fun. In fact, she was much fun watching her. That Bear family didn't watch much television anymore. She chased her tail. She did somersaults. She fought her rubber dog bone. And she got into the strangest positions. Also, of course, she grew and grew so much that the Bear family started calling her Lady instead of Little Lady. And like all puppies, she loved to chew. Then one day, someone forgot to close the kitchen door while the family went shopping. When they got back, they found that Lady had chewed up half of the living room. The time had come for Lady to have her own house out in the yard. Papa built a fine, sturdy doghouse. Then he chicken wired the fence to keep her safe in the yard. Lady loved her house. She was even more fun in the yard than she was in the house. She chased leaves in the fall, snowflakes in the winter, cherry blossom in the spring, and butterfly in the summer. And as the years went by, Lady became more than a pet. She became another member of the family to love and to enjoy. So that was the Berenstain Bear Trouble with Pets from 1990. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Have a good every day with another video coming out real soon.